Welcome aboard everyone, Simon here from the Whales of Wall Street. We've got XPR Proton on our radar today, guys. Before we go into the chart, I just wanted to bring to the attention, of course, this information of, well, as if the Proton wallet wasn't good enough already, these guys are going gung-ho and making a 2.0 version. So they're using React Native, which I believe is pretty much like I don't know if it's JavaScript orientated, but it's certainly kind of like an app builder program. Very, very popular for a lot of SDKs and developers, of course. But yeah, Proton Wallet 2, so that's what they're calling it. Very fancy name. But yeah, the Proton community will for sure be loving that, as they mentioned here. But yeah, major advantages of using React, common code base, so very much around iOS and Android implementation, which we already know because of using the app. But of course, they want to boost perhaps the UI and the user experience in that aspect. So very interested to see what massive advantages they've got in this 2.0 versus the existing vision. Stability and scalability. So someone actually, ironically, a few weeks ago in the comments said, you know, what's the Proton's scalability aspect in terms of network capacity? Because, you know, all these projects are all fancy and great at the beginning, but then as soon as loads and loads and loads of people come on board, the app crashes, or, you know, certainly especially when prices fluctuate to a point where you're like, wow, I need to react to this, or I want to do something with this, and then you can't do it because the app's died, or there's too many people on there at the same time. So I'm really interested to see, and I'm sure they'll bring out more information on that as well in terms of the stability and the scalability as to exactly how much can be utilized in terms of network infrastructure power to accommodate so many people jumping on board. Because I think there's well over 50,000 accounts now that have signed up to use Proton Wallet, and I'm sure that's going to continuously grow rapidly as time goes on. For those that haven't downloaded the app or the wallet, definitely go and do that, especially if you're holding XPR tokens. You will definitely want to get involved in the staking opportunities, which we do have a video for of how to do that. If you're unsure, go check that out. We'll leave a link at the end of this video. But yeah, interesting other aspects of improvements they're bringing to the table, utilizing this React Native protocol to develop the app further. The advantages don't stop there. Launching Proton 2 will bring many new features. Okay, so feature and user experience parity. So that's going to be quite interesting. That it's going to be consistent, because you know sometimes you get a slightly different app visually on Android than you would iOS, and that's kind of some ways understandable because of coding and everything. But because of the React platform, I think they're going to be able to very much imitate each other. And something to do with the sign-up process. I mean, to be honest, I thought the sign-up process is quite good already as it is, but if you're going to improve it, fair play. If you think you can make it better, that's crazy. Multi-mainnet support. So this unlocks native support for sending and receiving all Proton supported tokens on all supported mainnets, including MIMO-based transfers. It's quite interesting. And the multi-account support as well. So, and there's a couple of other bits of pieces here. Moving forward, iOS and Android versions of the Proton wallet will remain the same, and it will be feature and UI UX, so that's user experience and user interface parity in each new release. There's a few bug fixes. I haven't had any issues with my wallet, to be honest, but that's quite interesting. So currently on a closed beta version, and we'll be opening up a open beta version in the coming weeks. So do you know what? In fact, while I'm right here right now, I'm going to be cheeky and maybe tweet Proton here and go, hey guys, get us involved in the the wallet 2.0 beta. Love it. Let's see what happens. Maybe they'll give us early access and we can treat you guys to some interesting information further on it. So we know you're ready for Proton 2 experience yourself. Can't wait. So yeah, very much coming soon. So I'm looking forward to seeing just really interested to see generally what's occurring here. So here are some screenshots of the current closed beta. Obviously can't really tell gigantically from this, but it looks fairly similar to what it is currently. But I'm very interested to see what this is. So this news actually came yesterday from Logan Smith. Thank you, Logan, as always. So yeah, let's see what happens, guys. But I just thought I'd bring that to your attention if you didn't know. But yeah, other than that, there's nothing major to report since the last video that we did a couple of days ago. But all I would say, guys, is this project is phenomenal. And actually, we mentioned just a minute ago 50,000 accounts, and that was only like a week or so ago, I think. And now we're over 60,000. Guys, this thing's going to fly, I'm telling you. It's so early still, and we'll jump into the chart very shortly. But yeah, it's very, very early days, and I think this thing is, just because of the usability, the swapping mechanism. Check out our intro video for more information on Proton and why we're so excited about it. 10 days, 10,000, 1,000 a day at the moment. So that's fantastic. Really pleased for them. But let's jump into the chart, guys, because actually that kind of like reflects on some updates here. So smash that like button if you're enjoying the content. So guys, the chart here, as we saw yesterday, the intake of the 2.0, I mean, we've had similar movements in the past already, but I do anticipate that some of this fractional increase yesterday was probably from that announcement, just from the bullishness really of this project. I mean, look at this. This is phenomenal, guys. Like, just from all, let's just take this back down to this kind of area here. So back on the 22nd of September with a high of 1/7 of a cent, like 0.7 cents, guys. And in this space of time of arguably 3 weeks ish, 539%. When I opened up my wallet this morning, I was like, I hardly put any investment in this, to be honest, like about a month and a half ago, because I was like, okay, this is a new product. I get the potential of it and the promise of it, but I'm just gonna, reduce the risk and whatnot. And it absolutely flew. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. It's probably the best performing asset I have in my portfolio. I just couldn't believe it, and it's just purely from the bullishness of looking at the interface and going, okay, I understand this. I understand the swap mechanism, the zero fees, which are phenomenal, the burning process, and it just made sense to me. And yes, of course, I would love to put more in, but as we're flying forwards, I've got to be realistic in my mind to say, well, this move is gigantic. We haven't really had any corrections. I mean, we've had some very minor ones along this way, and that even goes even further back, guys. I mean, look at that. If we take the 20th of July, can you imagine coming in at 20th of July? I think I came in just after that. That is phenomenal. That's like, so in 2 months, pretty much 2.5 months, 1,200%. So fair play to you guys that were even more bullish than I was in getting in at those low levels. But as I've mentioned here, even in this short-term period, we've got to, I think it was the 2nd of September I got in. So when was that? So I got in around about here, literally 1/4 of a cent, I think. So actually went down here. Sorry, I think I got that number. Yeah, that's crazy. So I got in at 0.004. The 2nd of September was the first time I invested. So yeah, absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But guys, yeah, we drew our moon in and said, are we going to come back down for a correction, or are we going to launch past the moon? We've launched straight past the moon. Absolutely ridiculous. We're on our way to Mars and all sorts right now. But we drew in this, and remember the last video, we said, look, I'm still thinking we need some kind of corrections here, because this is just going on, and I don't want to see a big backlash here. But don't get me wrong, the accounts are still rising, the awareness is still rising, and I think this is so early days and underachieving anyway in terms of its price points, even way back here. I mean, you can see obviously the all-time high back up here, and that wasn't since, I think, back in April or something, March, April time. So we're actually closing in on that, guys, to be honest. I think we're not far off that point now. And actually I was wondering today if we were going to do it today, but I think we had a bit of a pullback because of the profit taking. That's quite understandable. I mean, that jump's quite big, but I think it could be that in this next day or two we do that, just because of the bullish momentum. Let's just see how much rise we had in that one day yesterday. I think it's about 30%. So it's just incredible. It's one of the best performing assets in my opinion. But more importantly, the project is phenomenal. That's what I love about it the most. Obviously I love the gains, but I'm super happy with the project. That's the most important thing. So here, guys, in my opinion, we are not far off this at all, and I think with this momentum continuing, I do believe we'll get a bit of resistance at the previous all-time high, so around this 0.04 mark. It's argued today that maybe we had some of that resistance already. It's not quite ready to push here, so I'm still leaving my buy opportunity down in a couple of places down here, because people always like, what's the kind of good entry point? Well, it's so crazy. I can't believe this, but like, again, I would probably be looking at here if you're new to XPR and this is maybe your first time watching the video, or you've been waiting. I do have arguably some ideas around. I mean, this jump is massive, and like I said before, there's not many touch points here in these areas at all. That's why we put one lower down here, but you could argue maybe actually having one around this area, which, as you can see, just around this period of time, early April, there was quite a lot of resistance here. So I'm quite interested to see if that's an element of support. So it's not financial advice, guys, but if you are looking for entry points, I know we're still flying up. This is what I'm saying. Like, I could quite easily throw more money in this right now because I believe in it long term. But I'm being, kind of logical, if you like, that this mad rush is so big. The RSI, guys, like 85 is quite top heavy. There is argument to say that there's a very tiny bit of amount left in this, and I just anticipate that we might try and get to this previous all-time high. We might have a bit of a correction, potentially down to at least this area, before we shoot back up again. And I do believe as we come into November and December that we will be in major price discovery mode for XPR. A lot of people are saying like we should definitely get to the 10 cent mark. Some are saying like obviously new listings and things could take it up even bigger. I think in the next video I just need to go back in some historic data of this chart properly, and I'll work out maybe some better price predictions from our end. But I don't want to do too much right now because this move is so big. That's why I've been waiting ages, like for a correction, and I know we're in a bullish momentum. We've seen that on the MACD in the previous videos. I totally get that, but like the buying volume keeps coming. It's absolutely crazy. What's going on? Do you know what I mean? It's like, if you look here, the MACD, I don't know what's going on with my lines here. Let me just get rid of those a sec. It's just going on and on. It's mental. So let's see what happens here. As you remember in the previous video, we drew this line and we actually said if we get 2 or 3 days closure over this previous resistance and arguably hopefully a new support line, we will go up, and that's exactly what happened. And I think that's helped obviously with the announcement, so thank you for that also. But I do think we're going to have some kind of barrier here, but it seems the community of XPR is so big and growing, and the momentum of XPR, and especially with this new 2.0 launch coming in a couple of weeks time, I just think the engagement we might get a resistance here and a bit of a touchdown and back up again, but I think the back up again will be quite quick, and we could see something like 5 cents very easily after that launch, because the project is phenomenal. So guys, let us know in the comments below what you think. Do you think we are going to shoot above this all-time high very soon and continue, or do you think we're going to see a bit of a correction? I'm going to leave my buy points in here. I've got this one with some USDT ready on KuCoin to get some around this 2 cent mark, just in case. But I'm really intrigued actually to maybe grab someone on this potential area here for sure, and maybe, just maybe, this one in a longer period. I don't anticipate like coming up here and then dropping immediately down. It would be a gradual wave down process and then a gradual movement up again, and it could be maybe over a 2-3 week period. But that's if that happens, guys. I generally think if we get to this all-time high and we stick above it slightly, we will shoot up. But I do anticipate some resistance. So let us know what you think in the comments below. But guys, this project is phenomenal. Go and download the app. if you have XPR, I do recommend trying to bring it over to the wallet, and just enjoy the staking as well. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's great. It's really easy to send and receive, back and forth to exchanges and whatnot. And I think there's one XPR fee, if I remember from the video we did as the intro one. But just go check it out. And guys, we're going to wrap that up there. If anything happens majorly over the next 24-48 hours, we'll jump on another video for you, especially if we go past that all-time high. Guys, this is incredible stuff from Proton. Super excited about this. Absolutely love talking about it. Thank you for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next Proton video. Take care. Bye bye.